All right, I got a new shop vac. This was an awesome deal at Home Depot. It was like $99 or $89 or something, and it's a big one. So this is awesome. So I'm continuing on with the renovation of the Jinx here, and I've pulled all of the flooring out, which was quite easy to do. There's just a couple of screws holding the floors in, and I've just set them up here in the corner of my garage here. So I'm gonna peel off these foam mats here, and there's new ones on sale at Canadian Tire, so I'm gonna replace those. So what's next? I wanted to clean up the interior stringers of the boat here because they tend to be hidden under the floors. So like I said, I took the floorboards off, but now I'm in a bit of a quandary, and I'm gonna show you why. This was nothing new. I always knew about this issue, even from the first renovation, but for some reason, this boat was restored a number of years ago, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floor stringers here, but there was a 2x3 that was placed here on this one, and it was always there. It was there when I restored it. It seemed to be okay, so I just left it in place. But now I'm wondering, maybe it's time to pull this out, because there is good water flow. When water gets into the cockpit, there's good water flow underneath the frame here, except for where that piece was put in. And then this cavity here literally becomes a cavity, and water gets in there and then sits and starts to cause problems and rot. So I think it's time. I need to take this out, open up the water flow cavity beneath this frame here, just like on those ones. You see there is no area for the water to flow down from the bow of the boat here. So on all of these ones, there is. Water can flow right from the top, right down to the transom area of the boat, unimpeded there. See, the water can go through there, and it can go through there. But if water gets trapped in here, there's no way to flow out. So that's been causing some problems. So I think I have to take that board out. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not too sure why that board was placed in anyway. It could be that the hull of the boat was scabbed, the plywood was scabbed there. But anyway, I'm gonna dig it out and try and open up this drainage area here so the water can flow through. So anyway, wish me luck. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I've only been at this a minute, and I'm kind of glad I did it, but I'm also kind of glad I didn't do it. So the interior of this 2x3 here is completely rotted out. It's absolutely sopping wet down there, and fortunately or unfortunately, actually I can't tell. There is some plywood I'm going through there, but I don't know if that's the actual plywood on the hull. But you can see it's just lifting off here. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is very carefully pull everything out and then see if I can salvage it without actually going right through to the hull and filling it with epoxy. So yeah, it's wet here. It's very wet. This boat has been out of the water for a number of months now. So anyway, I'm going to continue on and clean this up once and for all. I can actually smell the rot in here. So away I go. Ooh, I love my new vacuum cleaner. So I've taken a little bit out, bit by bit at a time, and I couldn't tell whether this gray here was the hull itself. But as I started working out and started getting all of this rotten stuff out of the way, I was able to get my chisel and push it through there. And you can actually see this is the piece here, the original piece that was in there, and that was blocking it. So now I have somewhere for the water to go through. But it also tells me here that this gray is the original plywood, so I can't go past there. The other issue though is that there are nails coming through, so I'm gonna have to snip those off. Those are the original nails. I think they're ring nails, but I'm gonna have to get rid of those. And then I'm gonna have to clean this whole cavity out here and let it dry out. This original hull plywood here, which is 1/4-inch plywood, is still pretty good considering that this other piece, and it's here, you can see it's right here. Again, I don't see any scab lines where the plywood was joined, so it's a bit of a puzzle why this extra piece was put in there. It looks to be about 1/2 inch there. But anyway, I'm gonna continue to take out very gently so I don't go through the original hull and clean everything out. And then what I have to do is here's the frame where the steering wheel is, and I'm gonna have to punch through there. And once I get through there, that should start to open up my drainage. So this has to dry out considerably, and then I'm gonna saturate the whole thing with West System epoxy. So I'm kind of glad I did this. I still could run into some issues. You never know what you're gonna get when you start a restoration project, but so far, so good. Well, look at this. Let me just take the camera off the tripod here. And it was a bit finicky, but I don't think I punched through the hull at all. And I've opened up this area here, right here. So fingers can go through there. Now, this is the one of the frames here. As you can see, it's rotted out right there, so I'm gonna have to fill that in. But now I'm gonna let this dry out here. Like I said, this gray paint here is the original hull, which is this original hull here, and it's pretty solid considering all of this material is just sopping wet. So I'm gonna let everything dry out, clean it up, sand it off, get all the nails out, and then I am going to soak it in West System epoxy and clean it up. Again, I have no idea why that 2x3 was in there in the first place. I guess my mistake was leaving it in there when I did the restoration 8 years ago. But you can see it's, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, not bad for today's work. I am so thrilled with my brand new shop vac here from Home Depot. It was on sale, it was a Christmas special. So the restoration of the Jinx continues, and once I let this dry out, I will be back with the epoxy.